All right, we're live. How's it going, everyone? Yeah, I have a new. Yeah, we the wife and I actually did some remodeling of the studio. As you can see, I think this looks better. The reason why we did that is because the camera now doesn't actually catch the entrance of the studio, so now it's better. All right, so yeah, as I wrote on social, I have an idea about errors and since I've been using Sentry lately, of course I've been able to catch all of the errors that happen, in my projects. But what I've been thinking about is what about the errors that don't produce an error? I know that sounds crazy or like how can contradictory, but I'm thinking about what if the site, the cases when a site breaks without producing an error, right? For example, it could be a CSS issue, right? That doesn't render a specific layout of the page or something like that. So the functionality of the page gets broken, interrupted. So those are the cases. Yeah, exactly. So those are the cases that I'm looking for, and a tool like Sentry or any other tool for that matter, that they're listening for errors, right? They're catching every error that breaks, every exception that occurs in the in your project. But I haven't seen anything on like CSS or responsiveness issues, etc. So that's what I'm after. That's what I'm thinking about. And an idea came to my head. For example, we could utilize errors in Sentry, because aside from the automatic capturing of exceptions, we can also trigger manual exception capturing, which could be our vehicle of sending manual errors to Sentry, for example. And even if we even if there is no error, what we deem error, we can send that through the manual capturing of exceptions. So there's that. So okay, we got the vehicle part. We can use that. But then also, for example, if it's not an actual error, we don't know we won't know what the issue is, right? Hey, Adewale, how's it going, man? Yeah, we don't know what the actual issue is, right? There's no exception, there's no line of code, there is no file that caused the issue, but the page is still broken, right? In that case, for us to figure out, like us developers, to figure out what the issue was, I think it's best if we just used session replay, because that way we can see the screen. And if we want to do that, that means we need to build a mechanism or an outlet where the visitor of the website or the web app can actually trigger recording, the session replay recording, and then send it to us via the vehicle that I just mentioned, like 5 minutes after 2 minutes ago, via the vehicle that I mentioned. So we can basically capture the screen using the session replay and then create a fake error because we need something to report, attach the recording to it, and send it to Sentry. I think as a mechanism, it has it has a potential to catch even those use cases where the page breaks, but it doesn't cause, doesn't produce an exception, an error. So yeah, I'm thinking about, just get into like an experimentation mode and build like a widget that we can put on a website, right? In our project, we can put it on a website where the user can click like, I don't know, start recording, something like that, do or perform the action that they deem that it doesn't work, so that we can then stop recording and send that to Sentry. So yeah, I'm talking about something of a widget, right? So that's the actual project, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I haven't done any work other than just talking with my colleagues to see if this is possible. It turns out that it is possible. The session replay API exists, inside of Sentry. Hey, Yasir, how's it going? Yes, I'm doing really good. Thank you. So yeah, it's possible. All we need to do is build a framework agnostic widget that could be appended to any website or web app that has Sentry installed, and it can like float, it can float or be triggered externally. So like a pop-up can appear where the user can have like a opportunity to probably write some of the data, or have the option to start recording, stop recording, etc. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, those are use cases where I haven't seen, how would I report that, right? For example, if it breaks, Sentry will actually catch the exception if it shows red into the console. But what if the layout breaks, or like there are responsiveness issues, right? Those are the cases that I'm working on, and yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. So we're gonna take a little detour from the from the errors playground, but I think we can use the errors playground to actually build our little widgets somewhere. I don't know, like a little lip here that's when you press on it, the actual pop-up appears, the model appears. So that's my goal. I haven't done any widget development like this, so this is definitely going to be fun. So yeah, if you're ready, let's actually start putting some code in and figure things out. So this is going to be a really raw stream, honestly. Here's a monorepo. Here's the doc site. The doc site is basically this website right here. It's an Astro page where we are just enumerating all of the errors. Here's our, as you can see, I added a little dashed border. So this is React length inside. So if we open inspect element, we can go to the console, we can see that each child in a list should have a unique key prop, and that's actually the missing key prop error, right? You can actually see the error here. That was the point, and we kind of achieved that. I think I have issues in production, so I need to fix that. But before I do, or no, yeah, before I do that on stream, I think it's super worthy to for us to start this project, start figuring it out, and yeah, see where it takes us. Question for you: did you like Flutter development or React Native? Which did you like more, and think which SDK has more potential? Well, yeah, I'm not super super experienced in frameworks for mobile, although both were fine. I liked React Native because it's React and I'm really familiar with React, so I had no issues learning the like the framework or the API, etc. The learning curve was like really small if you know React. Flutter was also cool because it kind of matched my expectations, right? So like I wanted to build a UI of some sorts, and the way that I expected or like anticipated for it to be built actually matched what the reality is. So that's how you build UI, and it was easy to learn that, right? So yeah, I can't say that I prefer one or the other. I guess go with whatever go with whatever's closest to your skill set. If you're a web developer in in the React ecosystem, then give React Native a try, because I think you'll produce fast results much faster than getting into Flutter, because it's not just Flutter that you need to learn. it's also Dart that you need to learn. And I don't think you would know Dart, or yeah, I don't think you would know Dart if you don't do Flutter. Because I think that it's a programming language. Of course, you can use it for other things as well, but it's mainly associated with Flutter. But in this case, yeah, in this case, you could be a web developer who knows React. You can jump in React Native pretty, pretty easily. So yeah, I would say yeah, I would say go with whatever makes sense for you, right? All right, let's get back into the game. So this is our, as I mentioned, this is our playground, and let's create a new package here. Let's call this. I'm just gonna call it widget. Okay, just gonna call it widgets. When and inside we'll do like pm in it. Let me just go packages and initialize this repo. There we go. See that? So I don't know. We can do Sentry widget. I have no idea. We'll figure it out. I'm just gonna put 001 as the version. If if we make this and it works and it's useful, in that case, I'm just going to rip it out from this repo, either put it in a different repo or one of the SDKs, and then we can ship it as a package. That's the end goal, right? To build a reusable tool that we can put into our web apps. User says, understood. Well, I'm much of a backend developer and Linux kernel developer, so very low web UI UX development. That's why I'm asking this. Yeah, I would say try both. See, see what you like better. All right, I'm gonna put MIT as the license. Probably that's that's what we're after. Here's our widget. Here's I'm gonna remove the script as well. What else do we want? We should totally do TypeScript, right? Let me do pm add TypeScript, but I'm going to do dev or was it capital? Yeah, for development, yeah, capital D. There we go. And now I can do pm tst dash init, I think. Cool, there we go. So there's our ts config. Let's configure our out directory. I like to call my out directories dist. I don't know why, but let's put everything in dist. We're not going to be using any frameworks. Of course, we could add Sentry. Any of the we could add Sentry Core actually. Could add Sentry Core as a peer dependency. So when you install the widget, you don't actually install Sentry, but you have to have the Sentry Core or any of the I don't know, like React or Vue packages already installed, because the widget is going to try to use the already created instance, so the already created Sentry instance within that project. So that's why I think it would make sense, for us to put it in like a peer dependency. So I'm going to add @Sentry /core, probably Sentry Core. Well, not core, maybe it's just Sentry and the packages inside. Let's see. Or browser. Let's go to JavaScript and see. Man, what is Sentry JavaScript GitHub? Okay, Sentry -JavaScript, not just JavaScript. Oh, come on. Do I have to? All right, let me log in. I need to disconnect my microphone, so I'm gonna lose audio for a bit. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're back. All right, sorry about that. Let's go. Okay, so we have the JavaScript repo here. Let me zoom in. Let's see what packages do we have and what we should get. So we have the Angular browser core. There's the core. We have Ember, Gatsby, next.js, Node, all you can think. Any framework that's out there. I think we need to get the core package. Because we have the hub here, we have the scope, we have the SDK. There's the client. What else is here? Yeah. Yeah, so let's tap into that. If we do React, for example, it has the error boundary, it has integrations for like React Router, the profiler, Redux, all these things. But actually it's Sentry browser, not core. We should probably pull from the Sentry browser. Right, there's the init, there's the SDK version. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should grab, instead of the core, we should grab the browser probably. Because that's where the init function is. Default integrations, there we go. And releases, out session tracking. Here's the browser client options. There's the session tracking. Yeah, I think this would be the place. You know. Let's jump into the docs. Actually, let's go to the React. So for example, we import Sentry. Everything is Sentry from Sentry React, and then we do the init here. We add the browser tracing, and if we also have session replay, there we go. So yeah, in order to use session replay, we need to use the browser. There we go. Okay, cool. So we need the browser. And then into the integrations, we also have the replay integration. So we should look for that, right? We can add the Sentry browser package to be a peer dependency, something that's required for you to install aside from installing the widget package, right? And then we should, for example, when we initialize the widgets, we should see, is there an active running, Sentry instance? And if there is there a replay integration, right? Because this integration is at the core of what we're trying to do here, at the core of the actual widget, right? Because there will be no, of course, we're going to create a fake error, but the fake error is going to be a vehicle for the actual replay recording, right? So let's add the browser instead. I'm going to add it to like a developer dev dependency, but I'm actually going to move it. Come on, what is this now? Damn it. Whoa. All right, let me restart. So Vim is acting up. Let's try that again. Widget, package, there we go. So I'm gonna do peer dependencies. Sentry browser, exactly. Does NeoVim has access to my microphone? So that was Copilot. Does Copilot has access to my microphone? Because that's exactly what we wanted to do. Okay, so yeah, Sentry widgets. Let's keep it Sentry widget for now. Cool. Let's give a src directory and we can create the index.js next.ts file here. Inside, I can do console.log. Let's go. In order to build, we're gonna do build tsc, but then pts config. So use this configuration. I don't think maybe we don't need that, but still, you know. Cool. So if we do pm build now, we should see. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we're building all of the packages now. But there we go. We have turbo from the turbo repo, from the mono repo. And then we also have the dist folder, which contains index.js. And we have the console log. Let's go. Okay, so we can build TypeScript now. That's good. What else do we know? Should we bring any more dependencies? Or I think we're okay. Right? I think we're okay. Let's try to figure it out. Let's try to figure out what we want to do, you know. For the widgets, we should probably have something of an init or maybe an integration. Maybe like a Sentry integration. Let's see. Because right, we have integrations right here. What if we added the widget as an integration? That could be cool, right? It could be cool. So I'm gonna go to the browser package, integrations. Let's see. Here's the breadcrumb integration. Or maybe we should look for the session replay. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see where that comes from, right? Export integrations as integrations. And that's with capital I. So it's just an object. Window core browser. Window integrations are the ones that are you know, assigned to the window. Then we have core integrations from Sentry Core, which actually could be there. Session replay could be there. And then we have browser integrations from the .integrations. But as you can see, it's not here, right? We have the global handlers, try catch, breadcrumbs. Yeah. So it's probably in the core. It's probably in the core package. Let's see how that one's implemented and try to figure out if, you know, an integration is, yeah. Let's see, function inbound. Okay. Session. Well, that's just a session. Integrations from integrations. Okay. Sentry dot replay. Replay is a package, and I believe, you know, that's where the integration comes from. There's the class. Okay, you know what? We don't need to figure out how it reaches the React package, for example. But I think this is what we actually want. So there's an integration class that comes from Sentry types. And we need to implement the ID, the name, and then it has the initial options and recording options. Here's a constructor. It accepts all of these arguments. Okay. It creates these things. Maybe we should do something like this. Yeah. Console.warn. Yeah. To keep it basically to keep it framework agnostic, we're gonna be using uh the window object. So window dot you know, we'll basically try to add DOM elements through our integration. Yeah. Set up once, and then there is start. Cool. Start a replay regardless of sampling rate. Calling this will always create a new session. Will throw an error if replay is already in progress, creates or loads a session, attaches listeners, etc., etc. Cool. This is yeah, well, because this is attaching listeners to the DOM, etc. We should see how that's how that's being done, and we're gonna pretty much do not the same, but something similar. Okay. Underscore replay is a replay container. And that comes from .replay. Let's go to .replay. There's the, you know what? I'm just gonna enter the dev mode. I think like it's gonna be easier for us to track. There we go. Okay, so that was the replay container. Cool. There's our replay container. So we create an instance of this class whenever we create an instance of the replay integration. This holds the session, the events, the click detector, as you can see. Okay, so we're starting to see some DOM connected stuff here. There's a timeout. Okay. Last activity is enabled, is false. Yeah, we're probably going to use this, right? Is the integration currently active? Because if it's not, then we don't want to add anything. We don't want to add the widget. We should probably, I don't know, maybe not throw an error, but we'll see. So here's the constructor. It gets, all of these things are being set here. Get context is enabled. Yeah, we're going to use that. Is post. I'm looking for the start. Session sampled. Recording mode is buffer. If not sampled as a session based, then recording mode will be buffer. Note that we don't explicitly check if sampled is a buffer, because we could have sessions from session storage that are still error from prior SDK version. Okay. There's a start. If it's enabled and if it's already in progress, throw it. Well, then we can throw it as well. If it's enabled and it's a buffer, buffering is in progress, call flush to save the replay. Cool. So now we know that, when we start the session replay, we probably should call the flush in order to save it before we send it. Okay. There's one more hint. Okay. And then we have probably this. Timeouts, sticky, current session. This session equals session. Initialize record. Okay, there we go. Initialize recording. Set initial state. Remove listeners and add listeners. Cool. And there we go. Yeah. Window document, add visibility, change. Blur focus key down. We're tracking all of these things, of course. Click detector. Global listener. There's no way to remove these listeners to ensure they're only added once. Cool. Like a little flag. Okay, yeah. But as you can see, it's pretty straightforward, right? And then we do start recording. It gets, the record method returns the stop recording. These are the recording options. There's the emit on mutation. I don't know what these do, but Sentry internal, yeah, and this is in Sentry internal. Okay, we don't care, you know, from this point on, we don't really care about what happens inside. But yeah, you can see that we have the tools, right? If we grab a hold of the integration itself, there is like a start recording method that we can, you know, call to manually start the recording process. We need to call flush before we want to send in order to save the actual recording. So this is pretty much the API. You know, this is pretty much the API that we want to do. Cool. Well, let's go back to the actual integration now. We're still in the replay container. Okay, let me try to find it. Integration. Here we go. Yeah. I feel like we should be working on an integration, right? So we can bring in the package and we can just add the widget as an integration. And that way it will have, yeah, it will have basically access to the other integrations. So we can see if the session replay is installed and it's set up. Yeah. So let's bring in the integration from the Sentry types. And this is something that we want to install as a dependency, as like a dev dependency. So I'm going to cd into the packages widget, and I'm going to add Sentry slash types. There we go, as a dev dependency. Cool. So import type from Sentry types, right? We want to bring in the integration. Beautiful. And let's call this replay widget. Okay, let's call this replay widgets. There we go. Implements integration. So there's going to be, yeah, of course it doesn't implement. So code actions implemented. There we go. We need to define a name, and that name is going to be replay widgets. There's the setup once method that we need to implement, and we got the current hub out of it, and we also have the global event processor. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna use the global event processor, because that's I know that we use that for capturing errors and stuff. We could potentially get the keep the current hub basically. Okay, we'll save this and let's see what else was there. There's an ID and a name. Public static ID is a replay. Okay, I don't know why that's defined like that, but let's do public static ID. It's going to be a string and it's going to be a replay widget, and then public name, it's going to be a string, and instead of doing this we can say replay widget dot ID. Of course it's static. Okay, we got that done. Now we have some options and we can create our own type from types. Yeah, we can create our own types for the inputs. We just need to define them first, right? Okay, let's see what else there. We got the constructor here, which will pass all of the options. Okay. The initial options as well. If the sample rate is a number, if the error sample rate is a number, local media is more user-friendly option to configure blocking embedded media elements. Okay, that's cool. Like probably videos and stuff. Yeah. There's that. And then we have the is initialized and is browser. We said the is initialized here. And that's it, right? Let's check out the setup once. If it's not a browser, we should just return. Otherwise, we're calling the private setup methods. Okay. Yeah. There's our private setup method. I'm curious to see the browser. If it's not a browser from utils, is browser. Yeah. If there is no window, of course, we do need to check this because we're going to be accessing the window a lot. And if it's, yeah, if the window exists and it's not in a node environment and it's not in Electron node and renderer. Okay. Okay. We need to think about the Electron though. We need to think about the Electron. So we need this. Yeah. We need this and not sure if we should. This lives into the replay. So I'm just gonna copy this. Create utils and then create the isBrowser.ts. There we go. Let's figure out where the node environment is coming from Sentry utils. Let's bring that in as well. pnpm add dev, not dev, right? No, we're actually going to use this. So Sentry utils. And bring the node from Sentry utilities is node environment. And let's see how the electron is being defined. If the process is not undefined, and this thing, okay. We pretty much copied the whole file though. Type definitions for node, of course, pnpm add development types / node. So we have typings for the process. There we go. Okay, decent. So we have the East browser. We can go back here and pretty much do the same check, which I think is really good. Do the same check of is not browser integration. There we go. So if it's not a browser, then we don't care, you know, about the setup. We should probably just avoid, you know, setting the widget up because we're gonna need to, you know, have access to the actual window. Otherwise, we can call the setup. So yeah, let's do if it's not a browser, of course, just return it. Otherwise, this call, you know, invoke the private setup thingy. We don't use these two, but I'm going to leave them for now, just in case, you know, just in case we want to use them later. So here's the setup. If we have options like, should we add like the actual widget on the site or not. We should do that in the constructor. Keep it in like a, I don't know, probably a private. Keep it in a private variable, and then access it here through the setup. But I believe this is where we want to add stuff to the window if we're doing the widgets, right? If we're like doing the, yeah. Let me just check this. Once upon a time, we tried to create a transaction in setup once, and it would potentially create a transaction before some native SDK integrations have run and apply their own global event processor. So we call the initialize in the next event loop as a workaround to wait for the other global event processors to finish. This is no longer needed, but keeping it here to avoid any future issues. Okay, yeah. Let's see what's in the initialize. It says initialize sampling, and this is really replay specific things, right? And here's the local, the private setup. It just creates an instance of the replay container where all the things happen inside, right? So this is our widget integration, but we could keep like the actual widgets in a different class. I wouldn't for now. I want to start simple and then make things complicated. But yeah, I think that's how we would approach this. Replay container. Okay, so let's imagine that we're always going to add that, that little browser thingy, like a little button. So what I need to do now is, here we're sure that we have the window, right? Because of this. Otherwise we won't have the setup. So let's see, what if we have the window, but then we also need the document. Does this take care of the document? Yeah. So we have the window. Or if we have the window, then we also have the document. Yeah. So then we can do get, elements by name, for example, body. And we can have the body probably, or class name, just by name. Get elements, get element by name. No? Okay, I think it was a query selector probably. There we go. We can see the body, and then we can do add, not an event listener, but child nodes. Append child. So we can create our widget with just using JavaScript. So no frameworks, no Angular, no Vue or anything like that. The browser understands JavaScript. We're gonna create that little thingy and just append it as a child to the body. But first we also want to append a new layer on top of it that's going to be fixed, right? It's going to be fixed, and it'll position, or actually no, we might end up needing it though, because when we click on the widgets, we would like to open the modal, and that modal needs to be open somewhere, right? So might as well just create one more div, append it to the to the body as like the last child. Have that be fixed with user event set to none, so that it doesn't actually cover the the functionality of the rest of the website, so we can still interact with the website. But within that div, we're actually going to add the modals, but then also the and then also the the actual little widget that's going to be sitting in a corner somewhere. Cool. So let's try to do that. Let's try to do that and see what's up. So right here, let's log out replay widget setup. I'm going to I'm not gonna create a script. I'm going to create the wrapper document, create element. I want this to be a div, and yeah, I can put the ID of replay widget wrapper. That's okay. So with this now, tag name, give the following error. ID does not exist on type. What do you mean? Okay, all right, doesn't matter. Here's that element. We also want to inject, yeah, so check this out. Body is going to be the document query selector body, and we'll also need the head as well. There we go. Document. We have the head and we have the body. Inside of the head, we're going to add the style of the of everything, right? The styles. And inside of the body, we're going to append the wrapper. And then, of course, inside of the wrapper, we're going to be appending, the pop-up, etc., and all these things. Cool. Let me see. Create element. There are options, and it's only is. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So wrapper.id, set that to the replay widget wrapper. That we need this so that we can later, append the modal to the actual wrapper. And this is the easiest way, right, to locate the wrapper. Not the styles now, though. Definitely not an iframe. So let's try to create the widget as well. Create the div element. Give that the ID. And let's add like an inline style so that we can see it in the actual website. And I'm gonna add this widget to probably to the doc site because we have access to it, right? Let's try that. So widget dot style. Let's set the width to be, I don't know, like 50 pixels, and of course the height as well. Let's do the background color of red. That's all right. And what else do we need? We want to do widget dot style. Make it fixed. Bottom 0. No. Widget dot style dot top is going to be, I don't know. Let's make it 40 pixels, and then the right is going to be, so it's on the right corner over there. You know what? Let's also add this top 0, left 0, width is 100 and a height is 100. So this would make it a full screen. And we probably want to do, wait, first of all, can we do this? Yes, we can. Cool. Z index equals to, and now we need to add like there are some issues. There are usually issues with the Z index. We probably should add something like the maximum Z index, because we want this to be on top of everything, probably, right? It's like a floating widget. CSS max Z index. Or what if we do CSS Floating widget Z index, maybe there's like a opinion. Oh, definitely -1. Floating widgets for your website. And it's like almost 10,000. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, of course, that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, then let's set it to almost. Wait, what is that? That's exactly not what we want. So just 9,999. There's a Z index, so its position, it's fixed. It's full page, or like the full screen, probably a better word for it. And it has a Z index of almost 10,000. Then we have the ID for the widget. Width and height is only 50 pixels. It's gonna be red so we can see it. Of course, it's gonna be fixed, and it's going to be at the top right corner with like 40 pixels of offsets. This is ready. We're gonna be doing on click on this, so like widgets. There we go. I swear, Copilot has access to my microphone because it does exactly what we want to do. Show. Yeah, let's do show model. There we go, show model. We probably want to keep track of the event listeners, right? So like we don't do multiple add event listener, add event listener. Right now we don't really care about that. So just add the widget to the wrapper, and then just add body dot append child wrapper. Body is possibly null. Well, let's do that. Actually, no. I want to do this. Try to obtain. If there's no body, then or an element return, but then probably no body or head, or like can't access body or head in DOM. So we know what is it, Okay, I want to try this out. Let's go to the doc site now. It's an Astro page, of course. And we can try to add the widget. We can try to add the widget into the one of the error pages. Cool. But that means we need to add the, because there's no Sentry integration for Astro, but there is one for Vite. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Sentry Vite. After installing React and React DOM, it works for me. But that's for React. I don't care about React or React DOM. Okay, so we probably won't be able to. Or actually, nah. I think we will. We just need to initialize this. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and create a new project, and this is going to be browser JavaScript, yeah, and it's going to be the the errors playground Vite. No. There we go. So let's create this. It's gonna ask us for this. I probably just want, because there's no Vite, I just want to skip this. Okay, we have session replay and perform. Let's turn off performance, and just session replay. We're going to configure this in a different way. Cool. Actually, I'm going to open the docs. There's the Vite plugin. And I think that's what the actual article suggests. There's Astro, init, there's the page, Sentry browser. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to jump into the doc side and do pm add Sentry / browser. But then we also want to install the Sentry Vite. That's the node. We don't care about the backend for now. We only care about the front end. There we go. Vite plugin, we can upload the source maps, which will improve the stack traces in the Sentry. Okay, cool. But this is going to be in a div. So we're going to add the Sentry browser here as a regular dependency and do Sentry Vite plugin exactly as a dev dependency. And then we go into the Astro config and we add these things. Also need the auth token for the source maps. And should we do that? I guess we should do that. I don't know. Let's see. But basically, yeah, we need to do this. So import everything as Sentry from the browser, initialize. We have the integrations. We're going to add a dependency to our widget package and grab the widgets, the replay widget integration and add it here. When we do that, you know, here's the head, here's the body. We should see something. Technically, we should see something in the body. The Vite plugin is for uploading source maps. I'm going to keep it installed, but I'm not actually going to initialize. You know, I'm not actually going to initialize the Vite plugin because we don't need the source maps. I just need a Sentry in it. That's it. So now let's go to layouts main and add our script right here. Our DSN. So let's go and check the DSN. This is for our package. So this is our DSN. Change in quotation mark. Bam. That's it. Browser tracing. All right. Doesn't matter. Get it. But then also, oh wait. We should also add a reference to the widget package. And that was at Sentry / widget. You know what? I'm gonna do replay dash widget. Okay, I guess that makes much more sense. Replay session replay widgets. Okay, there we go. So go back to the doc side, package JSON dependencies, and we're going to do at Sentry / replay widget workspace star. There we go. So if we go to the doc side and do pm install, this is going to link the doc side with our widget package so that we can use it here. And as you can see here, replay widget is 001. And it grabs it from the one level up and then widget. That's basically where we put our widget, right? Cool. Let's go back to the layout and we can actually import something from Sentry / replay widget. Let's see. Oh wait, I didn't actually build it. Pm build. And we should probably, okay, there we go. Yeah, we're not done. I'm gonna remove that line, do the build again. But I'm actually going to go back to the widget package and configure this, because as you can see, the main is in index.js. We don't want that, right? We do not want that. We should be pointing. Okay, so this is completed, but we should probably point to dist index. What? Source index.ts. We need to build. We're in the doc side, damn it. Okay. Build on top of the whole playground so that it also affects the widget. It was successful. Let's check out the dist. So there's our index.js, right? Cool. Next.js. Let's go back to TS source maps. Find the source maps. There we go. Create source maps. Declarations. DTS files. Yeah. So if we do build again, we should also see the source maps and the declaration files into the lists. And there we go. There we go. I always forget this, but now we need to point. There were like three. Yeah, there were three properties that we can define into our package JSON. One points to the module, one points to the types. There was the other one. Was that main or something like that? Package JSON. Hey, what is going on? Please don't spam the chat. All right, let's be civilized. Alright, so package JSON module types. Yeah, it keeps that. Did you try to post like a link or something like that? Because I don't think you can do that. I had it configured to not post links because yeah, bots post a lot of links that we don't want those links to be in our chat. So when you have type module in the package JSON, your source code should use import syntax. Yada yada, but that's for the type. I had a different package. Let me see if that's like still live. Chakra UI. Pros? No. Okay. How long did it take to learn coding? Well, I started back in high school and that was like probably 2011, 2012, something like that. About like 10 years, 11 years ago. But I've also done like mobile apps, etc. So I haven't been only in JavaScript. I was just like, I've been everywhere pretty much. All right, here's the package JSON. Let's see. Main module and types. Okay, this is what I was looking for. And then where are the files? Cool. Okay, these three are what I was looking for. Let's add them. There we go. We have the index MJS. I don't know. Do we do MJS? We don't do MJS. Yeah, we don't do MJS. So let's remove the MJS. But we have main, we have types. When we also have files, right? Do I prefer Linux more than Windows? Between those two, yeah. But I've been on a Mac OS since I don't know, years ago. Okay, let's do a build one more time just in case. And to install again just to link everything up. So we can try doc site. Now we should totally have access to the thing. Let's see, at Sentry. Oh man, we don't have. Hold on. I want to see if we're right. So I'm going to do it here just so I can have like IntelliSense. There we go. Sentry replay widget. There's our package, right? And then we have the replay widget class inside. Cool. I'm going to grab this now and I'm going to put it all the way down into the script because we want this to be executed in the actual client. Because if you put it there, it's going to be static and it's going to be executed at build time. We don't have the window, we don't have access to the window at build time, so it's just going to break. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I haven't used Windows since a long time ago. Been rolling with Mac, but then if I have to pick Linux or Windows, I would probably pick Linux. If I want to play games, I would just pick Windows any day. But I'm not a big gamer. I don't play a lot of games. Okay, so this initializes our widget, which of course I can't jump into it right now, but it should technically go here and execute this thing. So set up once. If it's a browser, it's gonna be a browser, right? We're gonna run it in Chrome. It's gonna call the setup and it's going to obtain the head, all these things. Yeah, we're a big gamer before all this. Yeah, I was playing games just like any high school kid or elementary school kid, right? So packages, I'm gonna go to packages and I'm gonna go to, actually I'm just gonna go pm def, so we can run. Here we go. We can run the doc site. I'm going to go to local site 3000, and if I refresh, can't see anything. You see that? Sentry. Oh, there we go. It does not provide an export named replay widget. That was not cool. Okay, let's see. We have export class replay widgets, and this is our index.js. If I go to dist and index.js, it doesn't get exported. No, it actually does. Oh, it's not exported. Why is it not exported? You see that here? What feels useless? Okay, I need to figure out why we don't export the replay widget class. This is our code, so it's all cool. I recently got into coding. It feels like even though I know I'm learning fundamentals, I always forget everything after a whole course, even after recapping. Feels useless to keep trying. No, I mean, that's the, it's basically like the whole, profession. So that feeling won't go away anytime soon. As you can see, I've been coding for like 10 plus years. I have no idea why my class is not exported from this file, even though I compiled it and said export class replay widget, right? So, but it doesn't make me any less of a, of a programmer. You're gonna feel like that. Might as well just get used to it. But that doesn't mean you're a failure or something like that. Not at all. Okay, let's figure out why TypeScript does not export our class now. TypeScript export class. Export foo from my class. Export class foo. Have I ever went to hackathons? just one, and I won. Export default new. What if we do export default class replay widget that implements the integration? Yeah, we like my friend and I, we built like an Android app with Node.js backend and a MongoDB database that indexed companies that were hiring interns. That was the project. And I'm not saying that it was like the best project out there. Of course it's going to. Okay. I'm not saying that it was like the best project, but maybe maybe the competition wasn't as fierce. I don't know. There were some pretty good teams though. All right, this is. Hold on. Like widget. What if I do everything as replay widgets? I don't have IntelliSense here because we are in the context of HTML. So let me see. Replay widgets dot replay widget. That's what I'm talking about. But it claims that I don't have it. Let's go all the way down again. And don't do it like this, but do it like this, and it should technically work because now it's the default. Let's see if it throws again. How'd you learn coding back then? It was tutorials, yeah, courses. I used to watch a lot of the new Boston. Yeah, so Bucky Roberts taught me Java and Android and all these things. So that was my pickup. And then just reading others' code, trying to figure out why they did a thing that they did, what's the reason behind their code. And that's how I default is not exported by, yeah, imported by, okay. Yeah, you see that? That's the, I think maybe this should be, should it be like a script? It should be like a script. But it claims that default is not being exported. No, nothing's exported, as you can see. No, exports.default equals replay widget. Okay. I'm building a widget that hooks into Sentry. It's going to trigger the recording process. And then at the end, it's going to send basically the screen recording. Pretty much. It's not a screen recording, it's a DOM recording. It's a different, it's a different thing. Well, that's pretty much it. So that we can, as developers, we can see the errors that are happening that don't produce an exception, right? When the page breaks without crashing, right? So that could be like CSS issues or responsiveness issues. Yeah, those are the use cases. Again, this thing claims that default is not exported. Do I have issues with the way that I build my package? Let's see. CommonJS. Well, CommonJS seems like a... We have these things. We don't have the lib. Probably don't need the lib, I don't know. Probably gonna need the DOM, I don't know, we'll see. But the module is set to common.js, but this is the ES next. And this is a different thing because in this case, this package is being used only in React because it's a React package. So it makes sense for this to be here, right? Let me see what is the module and like the target and all these things set for the browser package. Really curious to see that because I feel like we need to mirror, or maybe the replay. The module is ES next. Okay. So if the replays module is ES next, let's also check the browser just in case. And if it's the same, we're just gonna mirror that. Extends this tsconfig, so we need to jump twice and get it here. And extends this tsconfig. And where's the module? The target is set to, okay, ES6 DOM. Module resolution is set to node. Target is set to ES6. Okay, where's the target? Let's put this to ES6, as you can see here. But then go back. Set of bundled library declaration files that describe the target runtime environment. We could do that. We could do that. DOM and ES6. We don't do JSX in this package. No. Hey, Revive, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for the sub. All right, let's go back to replay. So this was... the module was set to ES next. We had the common.js. Let's do ES next as well and rebuild this. So let's go back to widget, pm, build it again. Nope, it doesn't want to build it. So from @sentry utils, do you mean to set the module resolution? Oh, we need the node module resolution. We're just gonna do node. There we go. Built. Let's go take a look at what we have here. Same thing, but you know what? I'm actually going to remove the dist folder. There we go. Build it again. Okay. Okay, export default. Cool. This should work now. I mean, it has to, right? So it's the default export. So we can do this basically, and we can do this basically, right? Let's go back to the doc side and do pm dev. Hey, what is that? What is that? Bam, show modal. Okay. That's how we build a widget. All right, we got it working. And we're pretty much, are we at time? Oh, we got like 15 minutes. But yeah, I think this was a good start, right? We have the widget defined. We can start styling. Hey Sahil, what am I building? I'm building a pretty cool widget. So a quick backstory. Sentry captures all of your errors, right? So when you, for example, when you do this, you see this? Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. That's an error. So Sentry is going to capture that. And it's going to give you the error right here, probably not the egghead block, but let's go to the errors playground vt. We technically, oh yeah, should see it this way, but maybe it's still not set because we just set it up. But yeah, basically Sentry will capture everything, all of the errors, and it's gonna give you all of the info about the errors, like where, right, result is not happened. Here's the stack trace. Go figure it out. You have all the tools that you need to figure it out. What I'm building right here is this little red box. That's a widget that is going to, whose purpose is going to be reporting errors, and by errors I mean page breaks that do not necessarily reproduce, like a console error or a console warning in the console, right? So for example, if there are issues with responsiveness of the website, maybe there are like CSS issues where, I don't know, maybe I'm at the login page, and this has happened before. Okay, we see that I can't do anything now. That's why we need to add that user events property. But yeah, basically when enough yeah, I'm gonna read you again, but yeah, basically the idea is that, and I spoke with someone like I don't know, a senior developer that worked on a website that had like a sign-in page, but the form was missing, and they couldn't figure out why. Right, so that's basically one of the inspirations behind this. Turns out that it was a CSS error in Firefox that prevented the actual form from rendering, but people couldn't log in. And when people actually reported the error, first there was no console error, so the monitoring tools can't pick it up, right? But the people just said, there's no error, like I can't log in. There's no error, but there's also no form, so I can't log in, and I'm not gonna use your product, right? So that's the inspiration behind this. There are, when you think of it, there are issues that could happen on a website that don't necessarily produce a console error and can't be, automatically captured. So what I'm doing right now is a widget that will allow the users to do that. And I'm basically marrying the Sentry error monitoring with the session replay functionalities, right? So using Sentry, we can create fake errors just as a vehicle, right? But then the widget itself is going to trigger the recording, the session replay. And then we're going to create a fake error, link the recording with the fake error, and send it out, right? And we have to do that because there is no error happening within, there's no error happening on the page. That's why. So that's what I'm building. This is like literally episode number 1. I was building this errors playground, but I was like, you know what? I really need to try out this idea because I think it's going to work. And here's what we have right now. This red box is the start of our widget, right? So we're going to style it. We're going to add things, inside, like when you click it, a modal should appear where, the functionality of like start recording or send or something like that will be there. But yeah, that's what we're building. Just a simple floating widget like this one. When you click on it, it's going to be a model where it can start recording and then send out, the recording in a fake error, basically. So then we can still access the, basically see the screen of the user that claims that the page is breaking, even though there's no error. So this is like one step further. Am I currently working in any company? Yes, in Sentry. Yeah, I'm working as a dev rel in Sentry. Django says, bro, I ate my whole dinner and watched so much of this. I didn't talk at all, and holy, this is oddly entertaining. I'm glad that it's entertaining. Lunar, what's up? So that's what I have at the moment. When, as you can see, there like we can't select, we can't interact with the website because I added, on top of everything, I added a fixed div, but I forgot to add this little piece. So you'll see now. I forgot to add the user. There we go, the wrapper. So wrapper.style.user events, user selects, pointer events, sorry, not user, pointer events. I'm gonna set this to none. I'm going to rebuild this. Go back to the widget, pm build again. There we go. Let's go back and to pm dev. You know what? Hold on. Every time we make a change, I'm gonna have to go back to the widget package, rebuild it, go back to the docs package, dev. But I don't want to do that. I want to create a dev command here, you know. It's gonna basically do this. Time at Vim. Okay. You know, I'm going to fix you. Just hear me out now. Okay. Man, this is wild. Okay, so we have the dev, and it's basically the same command as you can see, but I'm passing the -- watch flag, and when I run dev at the root of the monorepo, both packages are going to execute their dev command. So the dockside package is going to be just astro dev. The widget package is going to start listening on changes, and it's going to rebuild the package automatically for me. That's what's happening. So I can go back to the root and do pm dev and check this out. There we go. If I refresh, first we can see that the error is fixed, right? We can select things now on the website. So the pointer events is correct. But even if I click on the red box, we can still see, we should still see the show modal, you know, console out here. And of course, it's not working. So we probably should fix that by adding the pointer events here. Widget.style. Pointer events. We're going to set this to all. Then check this out. Sorry. Check this out. When I save this file, this should rebuild. The hell was that? Okay. Damn it, Vim is acting up. I don't know. Alright. pm dev. That was actually awful. Alright. Let's see now. There we go. Show modal, right? So we can click on the box and it executes the on-click rate, but we can also select the page. That's what we're after. And of course, you know, to make it obvious that, you know, you can click on it, so we can do set the cursor to pointer. Let's save this now. There we go. You see that? Check it out. File change detected, starting incremental compilation, right? So that was the replay widget. That's the watch command, basically. So now I can just go and chill and basically code whenever I want to, but both things are going to be updating it, you know, updating as I code and save the files. Cool. So there's our cursor. You can see that here. This shows up in like a hand cursor. I can interact with the website, whatever there is, you know, on the website, I can interact with it. But then if I click this widget, it's going to trigger a functionality. And this is where we tap in, right? So we're going to need to figure out how to style this widget. I don't think it's going to be here. It's probably going to be like glued on the top right, or like the bottom right. Or maybe that's something that, you know, we're going to have a configuration for, right? But yeah, well, that's one thing. So styling and positioning. The other thing is that we need to, when we click on this, we need to show a modal. So of course, we need to style the modal as well. But the challenge would be, because those are not challenges, right? It's just work that needs to be done. The challenge would be to use the Sentry API, the session replay API, to start recording, to stop recording, you know, to get the last 30 seconds buffer, package everything into a fake error, link the recording with the error, send it. You know, that's the actual value of the package, you know, of this widget. That's the actual functionality, right? But before we go there, we need to play with some styling and all these things. But yeah, I think we're on the right track, right? We can see that, you know, we have a widget, right? Regardless of how it looks like, we have a widget that when you press, it executes something. And basically that's what we're after. That's exactly what we're after. So when we click on that show modal, this is where we add the modal, right? And as you can see, we have the wrapper here. Then the wrapper is just a fixed full screen div that has a z index of like 10,000. So it's like all the way to the top. I'll be back again sometime. It's 1:30 a.m. here. I'm gonna sleep. You seem like a nice surf. Oh yeah, thanks Sahil. Thank you so much. Yeah, enjoy. And it's really late. It's really like 1:30. I'm always offline at 1:30. All right, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, take care. But yeah, this is a div, a fixed full screen z index of 10,000, pointer event set to none. That was the issue, right? We couldn't interact with the website. We don't want to break the website, right? That's where we actually introduce errors. But we set the pointer events to none to the wrapper. And the wrapper, let me show you. If you want to visualize the wrapper, this is the wrapper. You see that? Replay, let me just expand this. Replay widget wrapper. And it has all these styles, right? So that's the wrapper. And if I hover on it, you see that blue highlight. It's basically the whole page, right? So that's the wrapper. It spans across the whole page. It's fixed, so that means even if I scroll, it's still going to remain at the top of the page. And then inside, we have the replay widget ID, which is the red box here. There we go. And this can be a button. It should be a button, you know, it's semantically correct. You don't do on-click events on divs. That, and it's not that you can't, we just did, right? And we saw that it functions well. But this definitely should be a button, because it's semantically correct for it to be a button. So I'm gonna zoom out and try to get to the console again, just to make sure that we're all good, and we are all good. Yeah. So that's what's up, right? And the button, it says again, I put an ID just so I can, you know, query and find my elements later on. And this is where the style gets in. I don't want to make the style like this. Honestly, I would rather, you know, that's why I also grabbed a reference to the head, because I want to create a style tag later on with some predefined CSS for the widget and append it to the head instead of the body, right? Because as you can see at the bottom right here, we have wrapper append child widget. So that's when we add the widget into the wrapper, and then we add the wrapper into the body. So that's why it's at the last place right here, right? That's how we add things to the body. But because we also have access to the head right here, I want to create an element that's going to be a style element instead of div. And I'm going to set the inner text to a CSS, and then append that to the head. And yeah, I want to style, I just want to use like normal CSS when I want to style. Actually, you know what? Let's figure that out right now. Let's figure that out right now. The yeah, the optimum would be I'm going to have a widget.css file like this. And then I'm going to read it and I'm going to append it. But there's one, like that's one way to go about it. What if I leave that to the user, you know? What if I do like, I don't know, import, because we've seen that, right? We've seen where we want to install something, you import the CSS. Right, that's how you do Tailwind, for example. You import the Tailwind CSS. Bootstrap as well. You import the CSS as like the top level, and then you have everything. First, let me just grab the widget. Replay widget. I'm gonna paste this. Oh no, not the actual paste, but with the P. Cool. So, yeah, I should learn macros in Vim, so I don't have to do this line by line. So I can just create a macro and just make it, or like a multi-line cursor, if that's like a thing. I think it was a thing. All right, I should have done a replace instead, you know? That would have been faster. Cool. Because we're in CSS, we don't actually need the, you know, the quotes right now. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna do replace, not like 40px, but I want to replace quotation marks with nothing. There we go. So this is going to be background dash color and pointer dash events. Okay, there we go. There's our replay widgets style now. So that's done. So I can just remove this safely. I also want to get this for the replay widget wrapper. Let's go back here. Replay widget wrapper. And I'm going to paste this. And now check this out. I'm going to do wrapper dot style dot, and I'm just going to remove everything. This is how it's going to look like. Oh, there we go. That's one. Also, I'm going to need, instead of fixed, the space equals space. I want to replace that with a colon space. Beautiful. And then, of course, the quotation marks. Quotes. So a quote is just going to be removed. And this was CSS in JS. We just need to do pointer dash events. There we go. Now, this was much faster, right? That's when you know the tool. Go by faster. Okay, so it's safe to remove this as well. But now let's figure out how do we, let's figure out how do we output CSS. Because if we go to dist, as you can see, there is no CSS, right? So should we use vid to bundle? Should we use vid to bundle this? Authoring JavaScript in a modularized fashion. This is why we're all familiar with the concept of bundling. Yeah. We've seen tools like Webpack, Rollup, and Parcel which greatly improved the development experience for front-end developers. Yes, they did. Okay. Vite is a build tool that aims to provide a faster, leaner development experience. Okay. Probably looking for a vanilla TS, but let's see if we actually need it, you know. There's the index HTML. Of course, we don't care about. We need. Vite is more than just a bundler, I think. We just need a bundler. You know? We just need a bundler. And I'm not sure if we should use. Let's see. Vite just bundler. Bundler based build setup has to eagerly crawl and build your entire application. Native this is essentially letting the browser take over part of the job of a bundler. Well, yeah, but no, you know. If I'm publishing a package, I'm gonna need a way to, you know, for example, tsconfig, tsc command will take care of my TypeScript, and it's going to, damn it, it's gonna convert that to JavaScript, you know, and that's what's happening, and that's cool and all. But I also need to bundle CSS now, you know. Let's see how people are doing that. TSC bundle CSS files. Let's see how people are actually achieving that. Does not do anything over than that just turn TS code. I know, yeah, that's what TSC is. CSS modules, you know, not setting up, no. No, not that too. I guess we can just grab, I don't know, like use rollup, build command that bundles your with rollup, pre-configured to output highly optimized static asset. Yeah, a Vite is like is built on top of rollup, and I feel like we should just use, you know, rollup straight ahead, and you know, not use Vite because we don't need the functionality of Vite. Honestly, we just need a bundler here, and I think rollup is going to work in this case. Yeah, there's tree shaking, plugins, code splitting, etc. Yada yada yada. Cool. Let's see how do we also handle CSS, asset file names, asset include leading dot, for example, dot CSS. Okay. There are mentions of CSS, so there's probably. Okay, so we install rollup in like a global, and let me zoom in for you. Install rollup globally, and if we do rollup main.js into that bundle, you know, format it into like a self immediately invoked function expression. Yeah. We can do that. For browsers, we can do CJS. For UMD, for some, you do UMD. Okay. There's also tree shaking included. Cool. Okay. We can also install it locally. Yeah. Probably want to install this locally. And when we do, we want to do a rollup config, and we basically need to have a config file. There are plugins as well, like JSON, for example. import data from a JSON file. Yeah. We install that. We can, rollup is gonna be able, to provide this for us. Cool. Cool. This is the config. There's the input, there's the output, and all the plugins. You know what? Let's actually do this. I haven't worked with rollup before, so I want to try that out. But it says in let's see, TypeScript rollup TypeScript. How do we? There's a plugin. How to set up a TypeScript project using rollup.js. Okay, there's the package JSON again. Sorry, let me zoom in. Source code file. So we got math, TypeScript, we got string, TypeScript, we have app. There's some TypeScript inside. We have a barrel file. So math index is a barrel file. String index, again, a barrel file. And then we import these from math, console.log. And that is the starting point. Okay. Installing rollup and TypeScript. So install rollup, install TypeScript. We already did TypeScript, so I just install rollup. Other tools. Building rollup. So there's one more thingy. Rimraf, which is the Unix command for rm-rf. Okay. And then deep merge, a tool to merge enumerable properties or more objects deeply. Okay. Curious to see what this is. We already have this target module. All of these things are select the out directory as well, out tsc. Okay, so okay, I understand. So basically, what's basically we're gonna do tsc so that it outputs our TypeScript, but then probably rollup is going to like the entry file in the rollup config is gonna be the index file into the inside of the out directory. It looks like there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, create basic config, and that's for the TypeScript thing, and that's output is set to dist. There's the merge as well. Okay, the merge is to merge basically the custom config with the base config. And this was the TypeScript rollup integration thingy. Okay. So here's the build script. First we rimraf the dist folder, then we do a tsc, so it outputs the TypeScript, compiles, it compiles the TypeScript, and then we do rollup again. Okay. And take that out dist directory and as input and put the results in a dist folder. Yeah. Okay. So if we run this JavaScript file, of course, it's going to be that. Okay. There's also the plugin TypeScript, but yeah. Any compiler options. Still don't know how to do rollup, TypeScript, and CSS. Okay, there's Babel, TypeScript, post CSS. And there's a cursor as well, which comes from rollup plugin cursor that minifies the generated bundles. But the CSS isn't there. Cannot resolve. I found about a preserved modules flag for the rollup with a little fix from the another code. Just edit my rollup to this. Let's see. Preserve module set to true. It works perfectly fine. So basically, if I wanted to get the CSS, I should just import it, right? What if I do that here? You know? What if I do import? I mean, I highly doubt that it's going to work, but still. Widget.css. Yeah, there are some errors here. There's the error. Failed to resolve the import, of course. Does the file exist? I know, I know. Let's go to the dist and see what's up. Yeah. That's the thing. So we probably need rollup. Right? I feel like this is yeah, I feel like this is the thing with rollup. And I actually need to read the contents of this file in build time. Not in runtime. No, actually in runtime. Okay. And then create that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Read contents of CSS. Bundle style sheets and add live rollup with rollup. Hey, Jason. Okay, let's see. How to use rollup for your next project. Post CSS. Cool. Easily process CSS and inject it into the head of the document. Yo, that is. Load a style sheet in main.js like this. And we kind of did that already, but yeah. There's no post CSS, so that's why it fails. That's why it fails to import it. Import a couple of modules for testing. Import a logger. Okay. Install post CSS as a rollup plugin. Okay. I like that. So install this. There's the rollup post CSS. There's the extension. Cool. And if we do the, if you take a look at the generated bundle, cool. There's the style inject. Yeah. We would have done this by hand. Right? That's why we actually tried to grab like create a reference to the head element so that we could inject the styles. But you know what? This will do that for us. Pretty much. This will do that for us. Yeah. Okay, so let's take the route. Let's take the post the roll up and post CSS routes. I'm gonna open up the console, cd into packages, widgets. Yeah, let's figure out how to, inject styles, and I'm getting tired, and we're gonna probably continue in the next stream. But yeah, let's figure it out. First, we're gonna need, yeah, we should probably do the two steps of compiling this. So first we want to compile TypeScript to JavaScript, have that to be like the index file or like the entry file for rollup, which will also, as we saw, if we go to the dist and index.js, we can see that we do this. But rollup with the post CSS plugin will know how to handle this, right? Because we don't use rollup, that's why we had the issue. Cannot resolve the module widget.css, right? But with rollup, we won't have any issue. So let's do pm add save dev rollup post CSS. What was the package name? Rollup plugin post CSS. So plugin post CSS and also rollup. Beautiful. Install that. I'm going to create a new file called rollup.config.js probably. Rollup config.js, exactly. So let's import post CSS from plugin post CSS, and we want to export default thing. You know what? But I'm going to go back. I'm gonna go back again to the this.labs article where we did this. This was like the two steps compilation. There's a rollup, we already got that, and also the building rollup as a rollup plugin for integration between rollup and TypeScript. Let's do that, okay? Open WC, but then it was also the other package, and I want to compare those two before plugins, packages, TypeScript. Oh, rollup has a native plugin. Yeah. Note that both TypeScript and TSLib are peer dependencies. This plugin needs to be installed separately. Well, let's use, let's use the native one, like the built-in one. Why not? It's by rollup, right? So this plugin loads any compiler options from the tsconfig by default. Passing options to the plugin directly will override those, but we don't do that. Cool. Let's also do npm add -d for develop the TypeScript plugin. So we got two plugins and also rollup. Import TypeScript from rollup plugin TypeScript. Come on now. There we go. Okay, export defaults. Our input is not gonna be. Oh, much better. So source index.js. Exactly. So we don't need the two step compilation. We can just do one. Let's define the output. That's going to be the directory dist and the format. Let's keep it ESM for now. If we want to put this out, TypeScript and post CSS. If you want to put this out on like a CDN or something like that, so you can just like get it in, then I think we need to do the CJS. Probably, but we'll see. Okay, check this out. So let's go back to rollup now. Wait, hold on. Define the extensions, of course. Post CSS. Extensions is an array of just css.css. Yeah. So this tells the post CSS plugin what types of style sheet definitions or files should I look for. Cool. And of course, yeah, we got the, I don't know, the common JS, the Babel here for polyfills, etc. Yeah. Let's see the script. Was it just... Yeah. Let's see, bundle, process and bundle JavaScript. There's rollup, there's the default thing. Source maps, format. We don't need to do this because the TypeScript plugin is going to do that for us. It's going to read the tsconfig and basically apply those definitions as rollup are, properties. So that, yeah. So we're calling that. But here's the thing. Rollup-c. So we need to go back to package.json and actually do that. So rollup-c. Probably npx, right? Or just rollup. Let's keep it rollup. We'll see how JSON does it. Package.json. Yeah, we don't see that. On all changes for the package. Let's see the package.json file. Let's see the whole file. Rollup C, and the def is just rollup C watch. Okay, cool. That's what we wanted to see. Rollup C watch. So if I go back at the root and do pm def, this should do rollup C. Oh wait, there was an error. Cannot use import statement outside a module. Where is that? It's in the widget. Import TypeScript. Oh damn. And that's here. Okay then. Well then we'll require const post css equals require this. We try that again. Was that an error? Yeah, it was an error. To resolve this, change the extension of your configuration. Oh damn it. Okay, so the MJS package JSON to pass bundle config as CJS. Okay. MJS, right? Is it happy now? No, it's not happy now. Didn't look like it's happy now. Or wait, is it? Yeah. Damn it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is it happy now? Of course it's not happy now. No, it can't export. Alright. That's the thing. So, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Learn rollup. JSON had there is no TypeScript actually. TypeScript rollup. Okay, let's see this. Rollup config JS. The type is probably a module in this case. tsconfig. Target module. Do we have issues over there? Module resolution none. Target. Let's see the target. ES6. That's like ES 2018. Okay. ES module interrupt is set to false. Okay. To ease support for importing CommonJS module. This allows synthetic default imports for type compatibility. We have this set to true. They have this set to false. Okay. Resolve JSON module true. Experimental decorators. And this is set to true because, yeah. Okay. I have no idea. We don't have the include though. Do we have the include? We don't have the include, but I guess it's gonna pick it up. Okay, so this doesn't actually work if we keep it like this and we do the require, it's still gonna complain. So I probably want to just, revert back to do imports. Yeah. We should be fine technically. Unless I'm missing anything. Cannot use import statements outside of a module. And this is rollup, right? Config plugin. Oh, wait a minute. What if I did TS in this case? Because we have the plugin. Technically, it should work, right? No, it does not. Unknown file extension. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. It's probably the TS config thingy. 2018. Module. The DOM is set to yes 2017. I don't know. Set the DOM, no emit, module resolution is set to node. There's the target. The module, let's check out the module. There's the module. The module was set to ES 2018, I think. Oh, yes, next. That's good. Module resolution is set to node. There was the lib. Module is next. This was false, if I remember correctly, and this was true. ES module interrupt is set to false, and resolve JSON module is set to true. Hold on a second, hold on a second. If I go to doc site, package JSON, we have a type module here. If we go to React, package JSON, we have a type. Do we have a type? We don't have a type. Well, we don't even use. And we don't have a type here as well. If I add type module, it is going to, it's technically gonna work. So I feel safer just trying that thing. Unresolved dependencies. Source map option must be set to generate source maps. Okay, but that's a warning. We'll fix that. It looks okay, but let me check now. There we go. You see that style injects? There we go. Okay. Okay. That's more like it. So, if we refresh now, we should see the same thing. It works. It's positioned over there. That means the CSS is applied. But check it out. We don't have the style tag anymore. We only have the IDs. But if we go to the head tag, scroll down a bit, let's see. This is the packages doc sites. This is Tailwind. Where is that style? head insert before. Okay, so it should be in the heads. Did we miss it? There's Tailwind. There's Rubik. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. Style type text CSS, right? Okay, we got style injections now. Cool. Okay, so we basically have created a pretty nice DX, I would say, for us. So we have our CSS right here. We can type in, CSS like normal developers instead of inlining the styles here. We're not gonna need the head reference anymore because rollup will do that for us. And yeah, we have everything working. And even if we do console, clear out, click on the widget itself, bam, show modal. That's about it. All right, so this, yeah, we actually achieved what we wanted to achieve, and honestly, I'm pretty happy about that. Let's add the package right here. Okay, we added a lot of stuff. What is this? Oh yeah, there was a fix that I needed to do. This, okay, so let's play with, come on now. Let's play with the .git ignore. So we're gonna ignore the turbo. Actually, wait a minute. Save it, but go here. Yeah, whatever is in dist, right? We don't want to keep track of dist files within our repo. So if I add this, it still has the dist folder here. Okay. Doesn't have the node module, so the node modules thing works. Stage this. Why is it? When you expect that, something is gonna work and it doesn't work, you wonder why is it that. So ignore this on package level, then it still has this here. Do I need to like remove that from? Okay, so I'm gonna unstage everything in dist, and I'm going to do what? Widget git ignore. Yeah, we don't do that here. Oh, actually, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Everything is staged now. And as we can see, this is gone. Cool. So I'm going to do commit starting, or like, I don't know, widget foundation config, probably, I don't know. Push this to main. There we go. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm happy with how things are looking like. I think we're set. Yeah. I think we're pretty set. Awesome. All right. So, what we need to do in the next stream is going to be figure out how do we scope the styles, because we have to do that. And because we have the post CSS plugin, I think we can easily achieve that. There's probably just like one config away, because when when we define our styles, etc., because we're gonna have like the modal, we're gonna have the widget style, etc. So maybe the widget inside it's gonna have like more, I don't know, it's gonna be a button and have like a text or something like that. When we define the styles for everything related to the widget, we don't want those styles to affect the rest of the page, right? But we also don't want the rest of the page style to affect the widget, right? So that we can achieve consistency, right? For example, in the in the modal, we basically need to do a CSS reset on the widget wrapper level so that everything that's inside of the widget wrapper will have its own style, right? So that's what we need to figure out. You know, we need to do that on that level, and also prevent any styles from basically leaking out. You know, and I believe it's better if we just find a way to fingerprint our, you know, classes or IDs, so that, you know, so that we basically, you know, increase the chances of them being unique. Right? So no other element can actually be, or like, you know, just it's just enough to fingerprint the actual widget wrapper and then use, you know, write the CSS in a way that it's not affecting any of the, you know, it's not affecting the button as an element, but it's going to affect any button within the widget wrapper, so that we only style our buttons, right? So that's the general idea. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that next Wednesday. Yeah, we can figure it out, and then in the meantime, I'm just gonna talk with, you know, talk with my colleagues to figure out how we can use the session replay and, you know, fake errors so we can send out the replay. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This was a really fun stream, honestly. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next Wednesday where we can, you know, put some more code in, because this is fun. This is really fun, you know. All right. Take care, everyone, and see you next week.